Hi everyone, it's Sarah. I wanted to talk to you today about the reasons why men pull away and what you can do about it. So, before I get into that, I want to mention that some men are never emotionally engaged, and that probably has to do with the way they were raised and what went on in their childhood, but I'm not going to talk about those men today. Today I'm going to talk about the men who were engaged, were romantic, were sexual with you, and suddenly, or maybe not so suddenly, aren't anymore. So, a lot of women act like it's a great mystery why men pull away and seem to believe that it's just inevitable that all men are going to do this at some point. That said, men are actually very logical. They don't just act out of a random emotion, they react to logical patterns of behavior over time. That being said, there are two main reasons really why men pull away. The first reason being that he is trying to process a difficult life experience, some kind of tragedy, or even just a rough time at work, things like that. He's going through something emotionally and he needs time to process that. The other reason is that you have trained him to pull away. This is very common in a lot of relationships now. So, if he is just pulling away because of some life circumstance, then there are things you can do, but mostly you need to just give him time. First of all, you can give him space. Just let him be alone for a while. Let him spend time not talking to you, not doing anything. Just leave him alone. Give him space. That said, let him know that you are there for him. Just gently mention that you're there to listen and that you support him no matter what. But don't hammer this home too much and don't push him to talk to you if he's not ready. Just give him a gentle nudge that you are there for him and then leave him alone. You also should be kind to him. Make him his favorite meal, or do some chores around the house that he usually takes care of. Pick up a gift from him from his favorite store. Maybe he likes cigars or a particular type of whiskey. You can always get that for him. And like I mentioned before, one of the main things you need to do is to just give him time. Eventually, he's going to be able to process this issue, and with your gentle support and your space that you've given him, he'll be able to get through it. So, on to reason number 2. You have trained him to pull away. Basically, in this situation, you are a porcupine. You have pricked him every single time he has tried to come near you with his thoughts, ideas, his feelings, and you have trained him to stay away in order to protect himself. No one wants to cuddle a porcupine, of course, so your man is no exception. So reasons that, or ways you've trained him to pull away are that you criticize him or argue with all of his thoughts and opinions. If every time he mentions the way he feels about something, you tell him that he should be thinking or feeling about it differently, he's going to hesitate to bring things up to you again. Another reason could be that you nitpick all of his choices and behaviors. Are you second guessing at his clothing choices for the day? Do you always question his choices of restaurant or his decision to give a gift to a friend? All of these little tiny behaviors that don't seem to amount to anything all add up in time as showing that you don't respect him or care or trust his opinion. Another way that you're probably driving him away is that you emotionally dump on him. Do you find yourself stressed out and frazzled enough to the point where you just explode on him? Or you just act really rude and dismissive and hateful when he hasn't done anything to you? If that describes you, then you are probably emotionally dumping on him, and it's not fair. It's going to make him withdraw, and it's something that you'll need to reel in if you want to change that. Another way that you're driving him away is you act too busy for him. You have no time for him to just come and talk to you. You're always running around, hanging out with friends or doing work or walking the dog or whatever it may be. You're always busy doing something. There's never any access to you. You might as well have to make an appointment in order to talk to you. If that's the case, then he's not going to feel drawn toward you as much. Another very common way that we drive our men away is we reject their romantic and sexual advances. Say, maybe he bought you flowers and you said, "Oh, I like roses more than I like carnations," or something like that. You're basically biting the hand that feeds. You are insulting his kind gesture. And if he keeps trying to initiate sex and you reject him more often than not, he's going to learn that you're not an ally of his, that you're not there for him romantically and sexually, and that you're not there to give him what he needs. So, how do you fix these problems? First and foremost, you need to learn to STFU, which means shut the F up. So every time you feel inclined to criticize his opinions, second guess him, nag, question his decisions, just reel it in, shut your mouth. If you need to write it down to let it out, do that, but just don't say anything. Just let him make decisions, let him express himself freely without your questioning him. On that note, listen when he speaks to you. Don't be so quick to hear your own voice and to add your input that you miss what he actually says. Just silently listen and pay attention. Show him that you understand what he's saying by maybe repeating back what he says in your own words. Let him know that you care about his words and his opinions by giving him your undivided attention. When he does this, understand that he's probably just showing you the tip of the iceberg of his emotions. Men aren't like women in that they only share a small amount of what they're feeling and thinking. And this isn't an insult, this has nothing to do with you. It's just the way that they operate. Either they share nothing at all, which is common, or they share some of what they're going through, but not all of it. A lot of men simply like to process what they're going through alone, mostly, like I mentioned before. And there's nothing wrong with this. The fact that he is sharing anything with you is a great compliment and should be appreciated. So know that when he speaks one or two sentences, there's probably an entire novel going on in his head. So this doesn't mean that you need to push him to share it all with you. It just means that he is going through some complex emotions and situations, and that you should be understanding of that. Another thing that a lot of women overlook is just simply taking care of yourself well enough to the point that you don't feel the need to emotionally dump on him. If you're stressed out and you're overworked, or you have just had too many bad days in a row, you're going to want to emotionally dump on him, and that's natural, but it's not good. You need to take good enough care of yourself so that you can be kind and open and loving to your man. You need to make sure you take time to get enough sleep, to exercise, to eat well, get some sunshine, just get a manicure if that's what you're into. Just take care of yourself to the point where you feel calm and happy, and you can share that with him instead of just stress and negativity. You also need to just make time for him. Just spend time around him, not doing anything in particular, not looking busy or rushed. Just maybe reading a book or even just sitting next to him. Ask him about his day. Make it clear that you are there for him and you want to be there for him. Lastly, and one of the most importantly, be open and initiate sex and romance. So if you've rejected him repeatedly in this department, he's going to learn that rejection is what he's going to get, and he's going to pull away. So it might be up to you to initiate sex and romance and small gestures of appreciation to regain his trust and to reestablish that connection. So don't be afraid to do these things. It might not be in your nature to initiate, but you likely won't have to do this forever. If you initiate sex enough, he'll get the picture that you're interested again, and he'll start doing so himself again. So I hope this helps. I hope this sheds a little bit of light on why men pull away and what you can do about it. It's no great mystery. As I said, men are very logical creatures, and they simply react to the behavior that is shown to them. So I hope you have a great day.